Speaking of prison though, I'll tell you what, I'll finish on this light-hearted note, but I've actually been to prison myself a couple of times. Woo! That gets a round of applause in Scotland. Here in Malaysia, like, holy shit. That's it, mate. I knew the fucking English guy would fucking chirp up there, didn't he? Oh, here we go. They fucking never let us forget, do they? Australia was the prison colony of Britain. They sent all their scumbags there, and don't worry guys, it all worked out pretty well for us. Turns out sending all your criminals to surfers paradise does not send out a strong message on crime. No? They're fucking idiots. They should have sent all the good people to Australia and left all the fuckheads in Britain, right? Well, that's what happened with Liverpool, by the way. What happened there. So, look guys, I'm not a hardened criminal, just relax. I haven't been to prison for, I've been to prison to do comedy shows, so I don't want to boast guys, but I'm a pretty big deal on the correctional institutions comedy circuit. So, yeah, they love me inside. And, you're writing your own jokes here. That was a bad choice of words. Just quickly, I'm going to tell you about the very weirdest show I ever did. I did a few shows in prisons in Scotland, so I have the security clearance that you need. And this prison governor rang me up and asked me if I could do a show in his prison, in a prison called Perth Prison, the original Perth in Scotland, a small Scottish city. And he said, oh, listen mate, we've heard you do prison shows, would you mind coming here? We're doing a Christmas show here in the prison for 60 men in the prison who are serving life sentences, right? And I was like, okay, that's weird. Why do you do a Christmas show for the people who are serving life sentences? You'd think that the most extreme criminals would be the last people to sort of get privileges. And he said, no, well, it doesn't really work like that. He said, you see, Christmas time is the time when men who are serving life sentences, it hits them how badly they've stuffed their lives up, right? And they get very emotional and they start lashing out and stabbing correctional officers. So we like to give them a bit of entertainment as a bit of a release valve. And I said, mate, that's incredible because, you know, when I got into stand-up comedy, it was in the hope that I could reduce the level of knife crime in correctional facilities during the festive season. And he said, well, mate, the gig's yours, right? And we went up there, and I booked the whole comedy show. I booked a show like this with an MC and a couple of comedians, and I got my buddy to MC the show, and he's like the toughest guy I know, and he really was in prison when he was young. And on the way up there, he goes, mate, I know what prison's like, I know what makes these guys laugh, and I've written a joke that they're going to love, and it's about a famous murder that happened here in Scotland a few years back where they found a woman's head on a beach, and it was a big murder mystery in all the papers. And I said, mate, that doesn't sound very funny, Gary. And he said, you're not a murderer, bro. Murderers will find it hilarious, it's what they do, right? They can relate to it. I went, okay mate, if you say so. So Gary gets up there and he's like, hey, all the killers in the house, make some noise. And he's done a bit of crowd work, and then he's gone, hey guys, do you remember when they found that woman's head on that beach up there north about 10 years ago? Do you guys remember that? And these prisoners laughed like it was the funniest thing they'd ever heard in their entire lives. Like they were losing their shit. Like the head on the beach, man, fucking brilliant. The only thing was Gary hadn't done the joke, right? So he was confused and he's looking at them going, guys, I don't know why you're laughing so much. I haven't done the joke yet. What's so funny? They go, that's the guy that did it. Like the freaking guy who cut the woman's head off was in the audience. Probably should have thought of in hindsight, given where we were performing and all. And anyway, Gary panicked and he just decided to bring me onto the stage. And he's gone, please on stage with Campbell. I'm looking at him going, oh thanks mate, you've just angered a decapitator. Now bring me on, right? I'm shitting myself. I knew these guys were not in prison for singing too loud in church, right? But I hadn't thought they'd cut people's heads off And this guy's sitting there, he's angry, right? He's angry. People in prison don't like to be made fun of, right? So he's sitting there angry, and I'm really nervous all of a sudden. And the first thing I said was, I just said, "Hi guys, my name's Ro, and I'm from Australia." And straight away, one of these fucking Scottish prisoners yelled out, "Fucking convict bastard!" Oh, and I have to say, that was the funniest heckle I've ever had, right? Because that actually had context, right? I was in a fucking prison. I'm like, that's funny actually, that is very funny. At the same time I was thinking, right, that guy's actually killed someone, so I'm extremely limited here on how I'm going to respond. Like, normally you have to try and win the power back, you know? You might make a hilarious joke about their job, like, "I don't come to the petrol station and knock the petrol pump out of your hand." You can't do that to a guy whose fucking profession is killing people. I don't come to your work and rip the balaclava off your head and fucking uncut the cable ties off your victim's hands. You're not going to say, "Well, I fucked your mum, mate." I'll tell you what happened. I got so nervous, right? I got so nervous about the fact that everyone was staring at me. My mind went blank. I went into autopilot. The first thing I said off the top of my head, probably the worst thing I could have said to 60 guys in jail. I looked out and went, "Are there any couples in tonight?" I mean, honestly, I heard myself say that. I had like an out-of-body experience. So, "What are you doing, mate? What are you doing?" And then I panicked and made it worse, because the next thing I said was, "Okay, well, has anyone here ever been forced into a relationship?" Oh, that's when it got really awkward, because half of them started to cry. Mostly the half that looked like you, mate. The other half just stared at me with such psychotic intensity that the bag of heroin in my arse burst. So I'm afraid the comedy only pays so well, guys. The drug trafficking is actually far more lucrative. So, I don't know how many of you have ever had 60 violent men trying to lick heroin from your arse. Christmas tradition in some parts of Scotland, but it's not as cool as it sounds. Kind of throws your rhythm and timing out a bit when you're trying to tell jokes, if I'm honest. Well, I have to give credit to those guys. My arse has never been cleaner. So, you guys have been fantastic. You got a great headline. I've been Campbell. Thank you.